The morning sky over Seoul was gray, heavy with the kind of quiet that comes before chaos. Reporters had already begun gathering outside Vast Entertainment's headquarters, their cameras wrapped in plastic against the drizzle, fixed on the glass doors that might open at any moment. For 3 days, the internet had been consumed by rumors that Korea's most adored couple, Ye-jin and Hyun, were on the verge of breaking apart. It started with one anonymous post claiming the two were living separately, and by nightfall, dozens of outlets across Asia had repeated the story as if it were fact. Inside the building, the tension was suffocating. Both management teams, Vast for Hyun and Miss Team for Ye-jin, had spent sleepless nights drafting statements, fielding calls, and trying to contain the wildfire. Silence was twisted into proof. Every polite refusal to comment was treated as confirmation. What no one outside knew was that both actors were simply exhausted. Months of relentless schedules, film shoots abroad, and endless speculation about their marriage had worn them thin. Small misunderstandings between them had become headlines. They had agreed to step back temporarily, not from each other, but from the spotlight, to breathe. Yet that single decision had been distorted into scandal. At noon, the agencies decided there was no other choice. A joint press conference would be held. It was unprecedented, two companies that fiercely guarded privacy now standing together before the media. At 2 p.m., the conference room at the Shilla Hotel filled to capacity. The hum of live streaming equipment drowned out conversation. Every major network was there, fans from across the world tuned in online. When the lights dimmed, a representative stepped to the podium. The room stilled. Cameras focused. Pens poised. "Good afternoon," he began in Korean, tone measured but edged with fatigue. "We are here to address the ongoing rumors regarding actors Ye-jin and Hyun." He paused, letting the murmurs die down before continuing. "Both artists are aware of the speculation surrounding their personal lives. These claims are untrue. They have been facing immense pressure due to their public image and demanding schedules. Currently taking personal time to rest and recover." There was a rustle of papers, and then the spokesperson lifted a printed sheet. "This is a joint message from both Ye-jin and Hyun," he said, and began to read. "To our fans and the public who have supported us, thank you for your concern. The recent rumors are false. We are simply tired and wish to focus on our health and family. Allow us the space to do so. With love and gratitude. Ye-jin and Hyun." The silence that followed was deafening. No one expected vulnerability. No one expected such raw honesty. Then came the barrage of questions. "They separating temporarily?" shouted one reporter. "Why weren't they present today?" another demanded. The spokesperson's expression tightened. "They are not separating," he said firmly. "They are human beings before they are public figures. Today, they chose rest over spectacle." Outside the hotel, hundreds of fans gathered behind barricades, some crying, others holding placards that read "Stay Strong, Bin-jin." When the statement was broadcast live, social media erupted, not with anger, but with empathy. The hashtag #ProtectBin-jin trended globally within minutes. Celebrities, colleagues, and fans flooded timelines with messages of support. "They've given us enough happiness. Let's give them peace," one tweet read. Retweeted more than 1 million times. Yet, beyond the walls of the conference room, both actors remained unseen. Ye-jin had cancelled her upcoming commercial shoot, citing health concerns. Hyun had postponed his overseas film promotion. Insiders whispered that both had been struggling under impossible expectations, to always smile, to always look perfect, to always reassure a world that refused to let them be ordinary. Dusk fell, the last journalists packed up their gear. Rain had stopped, but the air still smelled of tension and camera flashes. Inside the quiet of their separate homes, the couple finally had what they'd asked for, a moment of silence. It wasn't peace yet. It was a start. Outside, the headlines were already being written. Ye-jin and Hyun, not broken, just tired, and for once. That was the truth. The next morning, Seoul woke up to headlines that carried more empathy than outrage. Not broken, just tired. The phrase had spread across the internet like a soft echo after a storm. The press conference had done what few in the industry could manage. It humanized two of Korea's brightest stars. Yet behind that fragile calm, the weight of exhaustion still lingered. In the days that followed, both Ye-jin and Hyun retreated from public view. Her agency released a brief statement citing mental and physical fatigue, while Liz postponed all scheduled interviews. First time in their careers. They were invisible, no photos, no updates. Commercials. Fans, who had grown accustomed to seeing them smiling in every headline, now faced silence. And that silence, paradoxically, spoke louder than any scandal. Industry insiders began to share quiet stories that painted a fuller picture. Ye-jin, it was said, had been filming 2 projects back-to-back while managing her commitments as a brand ambassador. She's one of the most professional people I've ever worked with, stylist told the Korea Times. But lately she looked like she hadn't slept in days. Hyun, meanwhile, had spent months overseas for an action film that demanded grueling physical training. One crew member revealed. He tried to hide it, but he was clearly burned out. The public had mistaken distance for disconnection. In truth, were simply trying to protect something fragile, not just their marriage, but their sense of self. Senior PR consultant explained it best. Celebrities aren't just judged for what they do, they're judged for what they don't. When a couple that famous doesn't post together, silence becomes a story. By midweek, online forums buzzed with new theories. This time not of betrayal but of burnout. A viral post titled "Let Them Rest" gathered hundreds of thousands of comments. Fans from around the world began sharing messages of support. Photos of the couple from happier days, and quotes from their dramas. Fell in love with their warmth, not their perfection, one fan wrote. Meanwhile, both agencies worked quietly behind the scenes. The joint press conference had diffused the immediate crisis. But it also revealed something deeper, the toll of fame on 2 people who had spent years under relentless scrutiny. Had reached a point where even the smallest gesture, a smile at the airport, a missing ring, an absent photo, could ignite a wave of speculation. In the following week, Hyun was spotted for the first time. A simple baseball cap and mask as he exited a rehabilitation clinic for back pain. His manager later confirmed he was focusing on recovery. The photos, far from stirring more rumors, sparked sympathy. One fan commented, "He looks tired, but calm. I hope he's finding peace." Son Ye-jin remained out of sight until a charity foundation released images from a private visit she made to donate school supplies. The photos were grainy. Soft smile told a quiet story. She was healing, in her own way. Under one image, the caption read, "Sometimes kindness is the only response left." Weeks later, the agencies released a rare joint follow-up statement. Both Son Ye-jin and Hyun are currently prioritizing health and well-being. They ask for understanding and promise to return when they are ready. The wording was deliberate, simple, unpolished, almost tender. For an industry built on glitter and illusion, the honesty felt revolutionary. Talk shows and entertainment panels, analysts discussed what had happened. Some called it a lesson in humility. New era of authenticity. Even rival actors praised them for setting a precedent. A famous director commented, "It's the first time I've seen a couple protect their humanity so fiercely." Weeks turned into months. The frenzy faded. Resumed its rhythm. When Son Ye-jin finally reappeared in public, attending a close friends art exhibition, reporters expected tension. There was none. She smiled, waved politely. Asked about Hyun, she said softly, "He's doing well. We both are. We just needed time." Those 7 words carried across every major outlet. The speculation that months of noise couldn't silence. That same weekend, Hyun appeared in a pre-recorded interview for a film festival, looking rested. When asked about his break, he said, "Sometimes people forget that actors are humans, too. Tell stories for a living. But it doesn't mean our lives are scripted." The interviewer smiled, sensing the subtext. "And now?" she asked. He nodded, his voice calm. "Now I'm learning how to live slower. That's all." For fans, that was enough. The internet didn't explode this time, it sighed in relief. Hashtags of anger gave way to words of encouragement. "Rest well, Hyun. Always with Ye-jin, Bin-jin forever." Early spring, both stars began easing back into work. But something had changed. At public appearances, they seemed less guarded, less performative. They no longer posed for the perfect couple narrative, they were just themselves. 2 people who had survived the storm and chosen peace over performance. Entertainment reporters later described their ordeal as a turning point for how Korean media handles celebrity relationships. For once, the story wasn't about downfall or denial, it was about endurance. Months after the scandal, anonymous insider shared a line from Hyun Bin's journal that had circulated quietly among the staff. Love isn't the absence of struggle. Choice to rest beside someone, even when the world demands answers. And perhaps that was what the world had forgotten, that even fairy tale couples get tired. When the lights of Seoul glimmered over the Han River that night, it wasn't the noise of gossip that lingered, but the echo of something softer, understanding. For Sun Ye-jin and Hyun Bin, the storm had finally passed. And in the silence that followed, they found what fame had stolen from them, the right to simply be.